Even under the best of circumstances, selling your home can be a stressful experience. Now, the decision to sell your home is usually based on a life event. So there are happy life events like you got a new job, and so you need to move to a new city and you have to sell. Or you have a new kid and you ran out of room and you need to upsize and sell your home. Or your kids are grown, the last one's gone off to college, and now you can downsize and you're going to sell your home. Or you're retiring and you're going to move to a new state and you need to sell your home. Those are all happy events, still stressful because of all the different coordinating effort that you have to put in to the whole process. But then there are sad life events. Now, poor health, old age, one spouse dying, and now the kids have to put mom, usually mom, into assisted living, and you need to sell the home. Or you're getting a divorce. And that's probably the worst event of all and the hardest to deal with when you're selling a home. And that's what we're going to dive into right after this. Hi, I'm Mark Karten with Karten Real Estate Services in Queens, New York. And the issue of selling your home when you're getting divorced is a multi-layered, complicated process. So let's walk through it. Every transaction selling a home is stressful, but the additional stress that you have in a divorce is the coordination and communication. So you want to try and work with every different person. So these are your divorce attorneys. This is the real estate agent that you're going to choose. Anybody who is in your family to be understanding and compassionate to make this process as stress-free as possible. So let's talk about the game plan. And the number one thing is that we have to get a basis of what is the level of communication. So if it's a 10, the 10 means that this is an amicable divorce and that you're both speaking and you're adult and you're going to go through this together and make the best of it for yourselves and for the kids and move on. That's great because that means that if I was your real estate agent, that we could all sit together in a room and we can discuss the comps and the pricing and what the process is going to be for access to the home and all of the nitty-gritty. When we get to a 9 or an 8, that means really don't want to be in the same place together, or circumstances one spouse has already moved out and they're in another city, state, and we have to communicate by phone or by Zoom. Okay, that still works because we're all together, even though not in the same physical space. And then we digress. So if we're down to a 5 or a 4 and you can't look at each other or listen to each other's voices, then we're going to need a friend or a family member who can communicate the information to both parties. And then when we're down to a 1 or 0, then we're going to have to go through attorneys. So the lower we go on the scale, the more time this is going to take for the transaction. And time is our enemy. I talk about this a lot. We want to sell your home for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. And delays are not good for you. They're not good for the buyer. And we really want to avoid talking about this home and the motivation for selling it being a divorce for a lot of reasons. But number one, it's conflict, and most people want to avoid that. If you have a buyer who are newlyweds or happily married, a negative divorce vibe in a house is not something that they want to inherit. Okay, so also people think it's fire sale because you're trying to get out quick and offer less money. So we want to keep all of that behind the scenes. All right. So when it comes to preparation before we actually list, you want to choose an agent who is a good communicator, who can handle stress and tension, who can handle drama and not get in the middle of it and really stay objective. So they are working on both of your best outcome and behalf, but you both, in the best case scenario, need to choose the agent. You need to both agree. Don't say, I'm going to leave it up to him or her, or I'm going to leave it up to him or her. Do it together and agree. And if you can't agree on the first one, then interview another agent until you can find somebody that you're both comfortable with for their experience, for their ability to communicate, their honesty, integrity, ethics, all that good stuff. All right. So now you've got an agent who is trusted. And now you have to agree to a sales price, agree to access. So are both parties in the home? If somebody's sleeping on the couch, that's not a good look. So again, we want to make the property as accessible as possible, do repairs beforehand so that that expense is taken care of and these things don't come up and again cause delays. The other big thing is that somebody's going to want something. You're going to divvy up your property. Do it before the home is listed. All right. This way, buyers don't see it. You're not going to worry that it's gone or that the other person got it or that's not what you said. Again, these are all emotions that we want to try to avoid. So let's get everything out of the house that one or the other person wants. This is actually a good effect for the home because it's going to lighten up the amount of things, the clutter in the house, and help depersonalize it. And again, make this a faster process. As much emotion as there is between the spouses, you've got your kids as well. And so, you know, I'm a child of divorce and my house had to be sold. So I remember it very well. And it was a very, very long time ago. And it is a very impactful experience. So coming from that firsthand, I know what it's like to want to minimize that and to appreciate and understand everybody's feelings and to get everybody what they want so that they can move on. So that's really it. It's having a plan in place. It's having an agreement as to communication, as to a reasonable time frame to respond, and to really try and make this as much of a normal sales process as possible. Anything regarding the transaction, the legality of it, I leave that to professionals, which are your lawyers. So you want to look to them. You also want to talk to your financial advisors because the sale is something that you want to do before you get divorced to take advantage of capital gains. If you've lived in the house for the last 2 of the 5 years and you qualify in every other way, we want to sell to take advantage to minimize any tax implications that might befall this purchase, this sale. So that's it, my friends. I hope this is all theoretical and it does not pertain to you, but if it does, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to discuss one-on-one the ways that I can help you minimize the emotional stress of going through this process. And I wish you the best of luck with the sale of your home.